Hi, this is Eric at Learn Design with Eric, and I just wanted to talk to you today about Dungeons and Dragons. And I realize this is seems totally off topic, but the truth is that I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since I was like in second grade. And I think a lot of what has happened in my life, not that, like playing Dungeons and Dragons has changed my life or something like that, but it has. I mean, it's shaped the kinds of things I've done. So let's just talk a little bit for a minute. So I grew up in Oregon for the most part. I mean, we moved around a lot. Every other year or so we moved. My parents were both salespeople, and they always were moving to the place where we got the most benefit, and so not unlike somebody that's been in the military or something like that. So I think our record in one place was when we lived in Denver at one point, and we were there for 2.5 years. And so that's the highest number of time that I was at a place, and the lowest number was when we were in Houston. We were there for only about 9 months. And so other than that, we, every couple of years. And we used to joke about the fact that my mom didn't like to dust, and so we just got a new house every couple of years. And that's kind of still true today, although she's been in her house now for 4 years, so maybe she's gotten better at dusting, or actually she has somebody that dusts for her, so maybe it's not an issue anymore. In any case, so all that moving around basically kind of caused me to find my own things to do. And one of the things that I did a lot of is draw and create things. And so creating my own adventures and getting people in, like my brother and I used to play back in the day, and my dad and brother and I actually even played like the Keep on the Borderlands, like the original Keep on the Borderlands game, module for Dungeons and Dragons. And so, what is it done for me? Well, it's Dungeons and Dragons is a game that is played around a table with a bunch of people, so it's not a video game. It is not that stuff that you heard about in the 80s, if you're older like me, where people like got swords out and like tried to kill each other and cut each other to pieces. That was like weirdos. There's weirdos everywhere. They could be playing Dungeons and Dragons, or they could be playing My Little Ponies. They could still be killing each other because they're nuts. So what the game does, okay? So let's just create a little scenario here. Let's just pretend for a second that you're my players and I am your dungeon master, because I've been a dungeon master for a long time. So here you are. You're yourself and your compatriots. So you've been traveling with these 5 people for quite some time, and you've been quested to go into the Underdark, where there are just awful denizens, evil drow, and which are dark elves, and there are mind flayers, which are kind of these they're called illithid. They're like these kind of like brain dudes with like a jowl that's like looks like an octopus, and they eat brains. That's literally what they do. And they have very, very powerful mental acuity. And there's dragons, and then there's dwarves, which are like shorter, stockier men or women that mine for ores and stuff. I mean, if you've ever seen Lord of the Rings, you know what I'm talking about, right? So here you are in the Underdark, and it's pitch black. And so because of that, you've got a couple people in your party that are human and elf, and they can't see in the dark at all. So they're either faced with the choice of, do I light a lantern and basically tell everybody within sight that I'm right here and come and kill me now? Or do you have your spellcaster cast a spell on you so you can see in the dark? So that's what we've done. We've got an elf and we've got a human that can't see in the dark. Everybody else in the party can. We've got a dwarf who's got dark vision, so he can see 120 feet in the darkness. And what he sees is like a black and white outline. Sort of like if you've ever looked in one of those cameras that has the dark vision where it's greenish tinged. Well, it's not greenish tinged in his case, but it kind of looks like that. It's hard to judge distance because it's just a difference of lighter and darker gray tones, right? And occasionally you'll see little blots of color, because here we are in the Underdark, and one of the things that's common in the Underdark is phosphorescent fungi. So phosphorescent fungi grows on all the surfaces. It's very moist down here. I mean, we're under the ground. If you've ever been in a cave, you know what I'm talking about. It just tends to be moist and cloying in there. So, and it smells like earth and mold. And so you're creating a picture for your characters. So here we are in this open cavern. It's a massive, massive cavern, and behind us is a town. And we've just crossed through it, and all of the townspeople are very scared of us because we're outsiders. We don't belong there. And so they've hidden their homes, and we've walked through. We had this monster that we dealt with at the lake that attacked us. And now we're in an area where there is kind of these bumpy rocks, almost like there was stalactites and stalagmites originally running through the cavern, and somebody's like cut them off over the millennia. I mean, this is a very old space. And so around those rocks, there's this phosphorescent fungi. So where you normally would only see black and white and gray tones, you're now actually seeing this glowing purple tone throughout the cavern. And far off to the left, just kind of at the edges of your vision, you see hints of an aqua tone from some other fungi that's a different color. And so you're traveling through this open space, and you know the ceiling's 100 feet up, and so some of your party can't even see the ceiling, and others can. You can see the stalactites and the stalagmites, and you can see bats up there fluttering in the dark, kind of just looking for, you know, sleeping. And you know, up ahead you hear what sounds like maybe whipping, maybe some yelling. You're not really sure. And there's a subtle rise to the ground here, and then it rises up sharply with an escarpment. And at the base of the escarpment is this constructed, basically it's a lift that's been created with a winch and everything. And it's in the up position right now, so you couldn't even use it to get up. But there is a small trail that you can see. So what would you like to do? That's kind of what it's like, and it's all about creating a picture for them in their mind. So you're not showing them a picture like you do in today's video games. You're painting a picture for them. And in painting a picture, not unlike what I do with my day job every day, you're solving problems. You're creating a story based on the surroundings. And so what Dungeons and Dragons is it's a way to create experiences that seem real. And the reason why they seem real is that you paint the picture in your mind. And one of the things that's amazing about playing Dungeons and Dragons, and one of the reasons why I've still played to this day, I've been playing probably for, I don't know, like 38 years or something like that, is because not only do you get to spend time with your friends, but you also get to make memories with your friends while you're still sitting around a table. I mean, it's not like anything else. I play lots of board games. I play video games on occasion. I like to play Elite Dangerous. I play Division with my friends on voice chat and stuff, and we've played other games over the years. But even though that's fun, you're not creating a memory. Whereas in Dungeons and Dragons, you're creating a memory that lasts. I mean, you can be sitting around a campfire 10 years from now and talk about this adventure that you just had, you know, like we're having right now. Like that description that I just gave you is literally from last week's game. And so we remember that as if it was real. And that's what's so amazing. I mean, it's not unlike being in a play, really. The script writer kind of tells the story of what it's like at the setting, what it smells like, and you know what different foods taste like, or what the sounds are in the air. And so during the movie that you're watching or the play that you're watching, you get to experience those things live. And so it's a little bit like that experience. And you'll remember those things long past. You'll hear that song again that they played at the beginning of the movie, or you'll hear that song that they played during the, you know, like while you're watching Phantom of the Opera or something, right? And it'll take you back to that place, and you'll remember those actors and actresses, and you'll remember what happened, right? So it's a little bit like that, except times 10, because you are the actor now, and you are the script writer, and you are the person that is making the sets in your mind. And so it's really pretty amazing. And the reason why I wanted to talk to you about this, really, first of all, is to just give you a little, behind the scenes to me. So, I'm a graphic designer, right? But I'm a lot of other things too. I mean, I'm not just a graphic designer. I love to play board games. I like to play, role-playing games, obviously, Dungeons and Dragons and others that I played over the years. And, I like to cycle. Everybody's got a lot of things that they're doing. And I just wanted to give you the heads up. So if you've ever thought about playing Dungeons and Dragons, you should really check it out. I mean, if you haven't played and you've got kids, and you've got not real little kids, but kids that are probably 9 to 12, maybe a little younger, depending on how mature they are, they can sit for an hour. But it's a great way for them to not only create experiences with you when it's pouring down rain outside, like it is a lot in Oregon here, but also to learn how to problem solve without real world consequences, learn how to deal with adverse situations, again, without real world consequences, and to put themselves into the place of somebody else and think about how somebody else thinks. And all of these things really are very, very good for developmental. And I'm sure that it had something to do with, I guess, how well adjusted I am, that and moving around a million times and having to make friends a bunch of times and all that. So, give it a try. I mean, there's lots of gaming groups out there, and you can just go to different websites like enworld.org is one that's got like lots of resources on it, and I believe that there's even like a searching thing. There's probably stuff on Facebook. You can search for groups in your area. And I've had some great times playing with total strangers that I didn't know before the game. We show up at a game, and we just have a really great time hanging out. And, oftentimes after spending many hours together, we've become friends, and it's really cool. So maybe give it a try. Play some Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. And if you're not into fantasy, which is kind of mostly Dungeons and Dragons, then, maybe you can check out the product that my buddy Daniel and I are making, which is called Apocalypse 5e, which will be more along the veins of like a merging of science fiction, kind of some apocalyptic realities and all that. So anyway, thanks for watching today. I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk soon.